Hey guys, this is Chris, and welcome back to another edition of Hacking IELTS. In our last episode, we had a chat with Mohammad Jassim Mayed Walid regarding the writing section of the exam. Let's hear their thoughts now on the IELTS speaking test. Okay, guys, let's move on and talk about the speaking section of the IELTS exam. Let's talk about the speaking examiner. So, did you guys know where the examiner was from based on the accent, or did you have an idea?
My examiner was Lebanese, but she have an British accent.
My examiner was from India. She was Indian, and her accent was like British.
So, let's talk now about section 1 of the speaking test. So, do you remember some of the questions that you guys had?
In section one, they asked about myself.
Yeah.
In section two, they gave us a question and they gave us 1 minute to write your ideas. They will give you a note. Then you have to use your 1 minute carefully. And then you have to speak up for 2 minutes.
And for part 1, what were some of the questions that you guys had?
Talk about yourself, what you are doing after school, what your hobbies,
Where do you live?
where do you live. That's simple
They're
questions.
pretty basic questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basic.
about yourself.
Make you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
get ready to speak
Yeah.
in more detail. Okay. And let's move on to part 2 of the speaking test. So this is the long turn where, like you said, Mohammad
2 minutes.
Jassim, that you need to speak for up to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the topics that you were given?
For me, they give me where do you prefer to study? Like in a library or a coffee shop or a school or at home, and with who?
So how did you feel about this topic? Did you find it was hard? Was it easy?
No, it was easy. Yeah, I talked about studying, the advantage of studying at library and disadvantage of studying at library or at home or with someone like that.
All right. Now, you were given that 1 minute to prepare. And what did you do for this 1 minute?
I wrote down my ideas, so I don't mess it all up. And you have to use your 1 minute carefully.
Did you take that full 1 minute?
Yeah,
So you're like writing that
yeah,
whole time,
yeah.
right up
Just
until
points, just writing points, so I remember what to say.
All right. So you took that whole 1 minute up until the point where you
She
were
said,
told
yeah,
that you were going to start speaking.
yeah,
And did you find that that was really helpful using that full 1 minute?
yeah, yeah. Of course, you have to use your time, the given time. Why you don't use it? You have to use it.
I've actually had people on the show before. I had one guest on the show who didn't write anything. He more or less was sitting there thinking about it for the full 1 minute. He still managed to get a pretty high mark, but he had pretty high speaking skills
Yeah.
before the exam.
It depends on a person from person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends on your comfort level. For me personally, I'm a real planner. I think you guys
Yeah.
might know that about me.
Yeah.
So I would even take that full 1 minute and just be writing
Yeah, just
everything
writing
down as much as
points and,
possible so that I know without a doubt that I could speak up to that 2 minute mark, and then they will tell me to stop speaking.
Mm.
Right. How about you, Mayat?
For me, I remember that she gave me the advantage of being healthy. Why do you be healthy? Why you eat a healthy food? Uh, and I write she give me 1 minute between that to write the what I should write the plan.
How did you
Yeah.
find this topic? Was it challenging or was it pretty easy?
No, because I like healthy food and I like to be healthy, so I write everything about that.
Yeah, I think you like to train as well.
Yeah, I train actually fitness.
So this is an easy topic for
Easy
you.
for me.
Just talking about nutrition
I'm lucky,
and working out.
Yeah.
That's great because
Yeah.
sometimes you don't get a topic that's easy
Yeah.
for the task too, and you have to wing it. I actually had a guest on the show who had told me that part 3 and part 2 were not connected. So the questions that were asked in part 3, the dialogue between the test taker and the examiner, were completely unrelated to his task 2 topic?
For me, it was connected. They were asking about that topic. So it was connected. I don't know.
Let's talk more about part 3 of the speaking exam. So for parts 2 and 3, Mohammad Jassim, you said that it was connected.
Yeah, they were connected. So they gave me a question related to my topic, which was studying with person or yourself or library or like that.
Right. So you felt pretty confident with the
Yeah.
questions you were asked
Yeah.
about your topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What about for you, Mayed?
Same's connected, and you add information. Like, you don't stop. You keep adding information, adding until the time is finished. Because what I remember, my instructor told me that keep talking. But she don't raise her voice. Just to keep sign out at me, keep talking, keep talking, keep talking, so that I don't stop.
And then part 3,
Yeah.
that was more of a dialogue,
Yeah,
right?
this
Like
is, yeah,
the examiner would ask you questions
Yeah.
related to nutrition.
yeah.
And these were they all the same, or did they get like a little bit more difficult towards the end?
It's the same. It's the same. She know that you don't have an idea about in deep side of the healthy side and nutrition and that, because I'm not in nutrition. I'm not a doctor or something.
Right.
So she will not go deep. She will speak at general side. What did I say?
So for part 3, you guys felt pretty comfortable with the questions that were being asked?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was easy.
Easy.
Yeah, but you have to be specific.
Yeah, and plan in your brain what you will gonna speak about. What the types of healthy, why you should be healthy, what the food are healthy. That's the general stuff.
Did you guys do any practice before the exam, talking to a friend or recording yourself or any sort of technique?
Actually, online, I think I don't remember the website, but you have so many websites for IELTS, and you can look for it, can practice.
For me, I practiced with my instructor. He told me what to do and he gave me some tips.
And also, my instructor gave in the class what the IELTS, what will be in the exam, what the reading section, the listening, speaking, everything.
So, any final advice for test takers you guys would like to give?
For me, that you see the whole test, and of course, Mr. Chris gave you a papers and you practice at school, but you must put a time to practice at home.
Mohammad Jassim, any more closing comments? Any advice?
You have to keep practicing, as I said, and just when you see the paper, when you are in the exam, just don't panic. Just take it as normal. And you have to think, if you panic, you will forget everything.
Well, thanks again, guys, for coming on to the show. I really appreciate your time and for sharing your experiences and your insights about the IELTS exam.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Did this episode help you out? Let me know in the comments section on YouTube, or be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Take care, guys, and catch you in the next one.